Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining today's webinar session. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are joining from in the world. My name is Lauren Kruger. I am the Director of Sales Operations for IFMA, and today we will be discussing how your job is changing, how to get prepared, so evolving FM. Let's see, make myself a little smaller there. So again, my name is Lauren Kruger. I'm the Director of Sales Operations for IFMA. I've been with IFMA for 10 years now, so I know a lot of ins and outs of membership and events. So if you have any other questions today outside of PD professional development, I am happy to assist with those questions as well. I always like to see where everyone is joining from today. So if you want to type in the LinkedIn chat, if you're watching this on LinkedIn, where you are joining us from, I am in Stavanger, Norway. My family and I have been there for the last 2.5 years. So usually we get people who join in from India, Hong Kong, Singapore, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia. So it's great to see where everyone's tuning in from. And if you want to put why you are joining today, if there's any specific questions you're hoping to get answered, please type those into the chat. I do monitor it and I will try to answer those as best as I can through the presentation. If not, we should have time at the end to go through and answer any questions that had not been answered. So it looks like we have people joining from India, from Kenya, Fiji. I think maybe this is the first time we've had someone join from Fiji. So welcome. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join. Qatar, Ghana, Malaysia, Switzerland. So welcome, welcome. Thank you everyone for joining today. All right. I also want to mention that IFMA has regional representatives around the world. Lara Payman is the managing director for IFMA EMEA, that's Europe, Middle East, and Africa. CC Dai is the managing director for IFMA China. Mahendra Singh is the director for IFMA India. And all of the three individuals that you see on the screen here conduct conferences and events in those regions. They work with the membership and the chapters in those regions. So if you are looking to see what's going on in your region, whether it's a conference and event, or if you are not a member of a chapter yet and want to be, these are excellent individuals to reach out to. So make sure that you are aware of them. You are visiting those dedicated websites and connecting with them. All right, so I am going to take myself off the screen here so you can focus on the slides. About IFMA. If you are not familiar, IFMA is the International Facility Management Association. We have been in the industry for over 40 years, so we are the leading experts. We have 139 chapters worldwide, and you heard me mention that in the previous slide. Chapters are physical representation of IFMA around the world. So IFMA's headquarters are based in Houston, Texas, but we have these 139 chapters globally. So they are run by volunteer board positions for that chapter. They have members that join. Some chapters are very large, have over 500 members. Some may be a little bit smaller and have maybe 50 or 100 members, but it's a great way to network with other professionals in your city and to see other people who are providing products and services to facility managers. So if you're looking for a good recommendation for vendors to work with, that's an excellent way to connect with both sides of the facility management industry with these chapters. So for example, we have chapters in Nigeria, we have chapters in Hong Kong and Singapore, India. We do not yet have a chapter in the Middle East. We are working on that. So if you are in the United Arab Emirates or in Saudi Arabia, we are looking at chapters in those countries, and hopefully we'll have good news for you in the very near future. So keep an eye out for what's happening there. So IFMA's mission is to lead the future of the built environment and to make the world a better place. Our vision is to advance our collective knowledge, value, and growth for FM professionals to perform at the highest level. And looks like everyone is still writing in what they're hoping to get out of the webinar, where they're joining from: Italy, Dubai, Riyadh. I see some familiar faces. So hello, if you've seen the previous webinars that I do. It's good to always have returning faces. All right, so today's presentation is going to be a little different. If you have joined the ones in the previous months I've given, we tend to focus a lot on our credentials. What are the needs to know, how to pursue the credentials. We are not going to be talking about the credentials today. So before you sign off, listen, we are going to talk about what other programs IFMA offers. Of course, if you have any credentialing questions, I'm happy to answer those. If there's time at the end, I can do that. Otherwise, you can always type your question into the LinkedIn chat. I do go back afterwards and respond to all the questions in a written form in your chat. So if you have a question, type it in the chat and I will get to it after the presentation as well. I'm happy to make sure that everyone has their questions answered. So today we are going to be focusing on the micro courses that IFMA offers, as well as the other learning videos that IFMA offers. So on this slide here, you see a bunch of buzzwords that you probably are familiar with or you've seen recently. These are all of the words that FM professionals are searching for in Google. So when people are Googling, facility management, trends, the future of FM, these are the words that you see. So the bigger the word is, the more searches for that. And the smaller the words are going to be, the fewer searches for that. But this is a great example to see how IFMA continues to create courses that are relevant for you based on the current trends, what's happening in the industry now. This is also a great example of how IFMA is continuously updating our credentialing programs. Some of what you see on the screen here may end up being a full new competency within the facility management body of knowledge. A lot of that will depend upon the feedback that we get from the global job task analysis that IFMA conducts. So some of these may become competencies, some of them may become sub-competencies. So they're topics that fall under a competency that IFMA has already in the body of knowledge. So we really liked this. We thought this was a great visual to see what people are searching for when they think of FM and what this tells what they're hoping to do in their facilities. So great graphic. So why micromodules? We have received a bunch of feedback from our FM professionals with our programs that why they may want the credential or why they may not be able to pursue the credential at this time, but they still want the content. They still want to learn, but maybe they're not ready for that credential, or maybe they are looking at it in the future. So micromodules are a great way to get a boost of knowledge without breaking your schedule, without breaking your budget. So ongoing learning is critical for success. So if anything that has happened within the last 3 years after the pandemic is that the FM world is constantly changing. So much has evolved since the global pandemic. So From that, we have, as you saw on the previous screen with the buzzwords, there's more on digital transformation, operational technology, sustainability. So this is content and topics that you are wanting. And so IFMA is working to create these micro modules, which do not result in a credential, but are a great way to get more learning in those specific topics. So FMs are very in demand. You have a very busy schedule. So much can pull your attention in, 100 directions. So where do you have the time to actually study maybe for a credential? If you are just, super busy, you're still trying to get your feet under you, these micro modules are a great way to get that learning without breaking your back when it comes to finding the time to actually do it. So these micro modules, you should plan for at least 2 study hours for each micro module. So that's essentially 1 day a week where you sit down for 2 hours to go through this micro module course, but you're still getting, targeted learning in specific areas. And these are really meant to help you learn about industry emerging topics. So as we said, some of these are not yet maybe full competencies, or they're touched on in sub-competencies, but we're seeing in the feedback and in the market for FM that this is the learning you want. So these are specialized learning modules about those specific areas. So if you do have a credential, or you already have one, this is a great way to keep learning and stay relevant. Again, the importance of lifelong learning. You don't know everything and you're done. So once you get the FMP, or once you get the SFP or CFM, your learning doesn't stop. Industry constantly, that you have to stay on top of what is going on. And these micro modules are an excellent way to add on to your learning if you already have one of those credentials. So we are going to talk a little bit about one of the micro modules that we have out now, digitization. So this is going to talk about structuring your assets and processes digitally, identifying various essential asset documentation types. There's studies on how to run an asset register, digitize information and stakeholders and workflows. This is a 5-part series course. You can pick and choose the module that you want, or you can purchase the bundle. And taking these do earn you IACET CEUs, so that's continuing education units. So if you have a credential with another organization that you need CEUs to maintain, it's an excellent way to take a course where you are still learning something for your job, for your position, but you would also be getting credit towards maintaining another association's credential or certification. So you see the prices on the screen there. We have our individual modules, and if you are looking to purchase the entire 5-module, it is going to be $300 for members. And one asked, how can they join IFMA to become a member? You can do that online at ifma.org. Also, if you go to purchase, let's say, this digitization micro module course, there is an option to add the membership to your cart directly from the catalog. So 2 different ways you can join. You can go directly to the IFMA website to join and then purchase this bundle with the member price. Or when you go to add this to your cart, you can also add that IFMA membership to get the member price when you check out. The next micro module series I want to discuss is sustainability. So this is, as we mentioned and you saw on those previous screen, a very trendy, hot topic buzzword right now. So sustainability with this micro module series will be building the case for sustainability with stakeholders in your organization. You're going to explore building rating systems, creating value with a balanced scorecard, evaluating and reporting, creating a business case, and then quantifying that business case for senior leadership. Now, this is $65 for members and $75 US for non-members. For those of you that are familiar with IFMA's courses, you may be wondering how this compares to the sustainability course and the SFP. So we have this great slide here, and it looks, I'm not sure if you can see the workflow that I have. That is very interesting. It doesn't look like I can see the boxes on my screen. I hope you can. If not, I will talk about it. So the micro module series is really for individuals who may have already taken the sustainability course. That's one of IFMA's competency courses. It's that competency course is going to give you a broad overview of sustainability in FM. This micro module sustainability course is going to go in depth deeper into the topics after that sustainability course, but is for someone who is not ready for the SFP credential. So this micro module is going to sit between the sustainability course and the SFP credential. If you already have a good knowledge and background in sustainability, and so you have not yet taken the sustainability course, but want to understand if the SFP is the next credential for you, this micro module is going to be an excellent value for you to understand a little bit more in depth into the topic before pursuing that SFP credential. And I'm so sorry, it showed on my slides before this presentation, but it does not look like it's showing up now. So I apologize for that. The next module we have is life cycle costing. With this module, you will understand the costs associated with operating and maintaining your facilities, your needs assessment, how to run an analysis, and data-driven decisions. And those are the prices that you see on the screen there. And we do have a cybersecurity micro module coming soon. If you have your phones on you, you can scan that QR code or visit this link at the bottom of the screen to sign up for information about when this will be coming out. This is, of course, on top of everybody's minds in their organizations, and this is going to be an excellent micro module to do a deeper dive into cybersecurity. So go ahead and scan the QR code or visit that URL and sign up for notifications on when this one launches. IFMA also has a number of learning videos, and we have bundled some of those learning videos together based on similar competency topic. So these are even smaller bite-sized pieces of knowledge, and these are as low as $25 US for members of IFMA. So these learning videos are all categorized based on our 11 core competencies. So you can find videos in sustainability, you can find videos in risk management, communications, leadership and strategy. We have a number of these learning videos. Some of these were created based on past conference presentations. They all have learning objectives in them. You can earn CFM maintenance points for these learning videos. And these are going to be subtopics within these core competencies. These are priced at a very low point because they are very small courses. So they are not going to be as in-depth as the micro modules. These are very short learnings, like, less than an hour of study time per week, or per module, I'm sorry, that you purchase. So if you have the CFM certification already, these are great ways to earn CFM maintenance points for your recertification. This is also just great learning for you if you've got 30 minutes of your time and you want to dive deeper into risk management plan or a communications plan. You can purchase one of these learning bundles for that. So I didn't want to end the presentation without briefly mentioning the credentials. This is our pyramid of credentials that you see on the screen here, all except for, I should say, the essentials. This essentials program at the beginner level is a training course. It is not a credential. It is 10 modules that make up the essentials. And we like to say this is for individuals that have less than a year of experience in FM, or they work adjacent to facility management. So you might be within the built environment. Maybe you're an HVAC technician or an electrician, or you're working in groundskeeping or housekeeping and you work with the FM department and you want to move into facility management. The Essentials is a great beginner course to help you understand what are the key roles, what is the terminology used for FM. Next, we have our skilled professional. This is going to be our FMP credential. This is going to gain you training and knowledge in the foundational competencies. So you heard me throughout this presentation mention that there are 11 core competencies that make up the facility management body of knowledge. The FMP is made up of the 4 foundational competencies: finance and business, leadership and strategy, project management, and operations and maintenance. So if you are an individual that has at least a year of experience and you want to solidify and show your employer, show the world that you have the training and knowledge in those 4 foundational competencies, the FMP is a great credential for you. Then we have our proficient level, which is going to be the rest of those core competencies. So if the FMP is made up of the 4 foundational, we have additional competent courses in the rest of the 7 competencies. So this is a great way for someone to round out their knowledge so that you have the training in all 11 competencies. This is a great way to help prepare for the CFM exam if you are someone wanting to sit for that CFM exam. This is, again, just a great way to gain additional insight into those competencies, fill any knowledge gaps. Each one is not a credential, these other 7. This is just going to give you a digital badge that you can share, that says you have completed risk management or you've completed IFMA's communication competency course. Then we have our SFP, our Sustainability Facility Professional. This is going to be a credential that is focused solely on sustainability in FM. So this is for those who are really looking to lead the sustainability initiatives in their organization. You should have a good foundation of the 4 foundational competencies, because the SFP is going to build upon your knowledge in the 4 foundational competencies. So it is going to cover how to think critically, how to move your organization towards a sustainable FM initiative based on those foundational competencies. And then we have at the top our CFM certification, our Certified Facility Manager. There is no retraining required to sit for the CFM exam. This CFM is an actual exam that you have to go sit and take a test at a testing center. It is testing your knowledge and how you apply that knowledge to certain scenarios and questions on the exam. So this is going to test your knowledge. Once you have that CFM certification, it says basically that you are an individual that has mastered all 11 competencies and you are, the peak of the facility management credentials. So this says you are a master, you've earned your CFM in those 11 competencies. Now, I have many other presentations that go into more depth about each one of these. If you visit IFMA's YouTube channel, if you have access to YouTube, we keep all of those presentations there. You can go back and review one if you want to learn more about the CFM. You can watch that. If you want to learn more about the FMP or the SFP, there's a presentation for you that you can go back and review. Now, you may be thinking, where do I start? There's so much IFMA offers and I want to get going, but I have no clue where to start. We have a very short survey called the Career Compass. It's, a couple questions. It's a 2-minute survey that factors in your experience and your education. And what it does is it helps you find a place to start looking more into. So it may suggest for you after taking this that the CFM is you are eligible and this is likely where you should start. I would first look into this more. Look into, are you ready for the CFM exam? Do you need to gain maybe some experience in an adult learning program before pursuing the CFM exam? So this is not saying that you should start where it recommends, but it's a great place for you to start looking into if this is the right path for you. If you have any questions at all, our corporate connections team is happy to help you. We can talk through your experience, what you're hoping to accomplish, and help you decide in a path that is right for you. So our team's email is on the screen. That's corporateconnections@ifma.org. And one of us on our team will be happy to talk with you about any questions you have about the micro modules, about the credentials, and help you find the best path for you. So that is the end of the presentation today. I'm just going to quickly look through to see if I had any questions. It does not look like it. Someone was just saying they want to learn more about facilities management. If you want to learn more, as I mentioned, that Essentials of Facility Management program may be a great place for you to start. That is the beginner level training program. You can pick and choose any one of those 10 modules, or you can purchase the entire series. So that is a great way to get introduced to the roles and responsibilities of an FM and to learn what it means to be a facility manager. So hello again. It does not look like we have any more questions. This was a little bit different presentation today, but hopefully you learned a little bit more about some of the new courses that IFMA offers and some ones that are coming up with the cybersecurity micro module. So please reach out if you have any questions to that email, or you can type them into the LinkedIn chat if you think of something after the fact. And as I said, I will go through and answer any questions that you have. So thank you all for joining us today. Have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you.